Yeah, good morning, everyone. So we were discussing about comp variables, right? So basically, as discussed yesterday, so comp variables are used, meaning if suppose there are fields, employee ID field is there, which is 9 of 4, and it is occupying 4 bytes, right? So if like that, if you're having 10 records, it will be occupying 40, 100 records, it will be occupying 400, 1 lakh records, it will be occupying 4 lakh bytes just for one single field, right? So a developer, they started thinking or they started about the way how to reduce the occupancy of the space. So comp variables, there is a way, meaning if at least we can save 1 byte per field. So when you are seeing across the file, when you're seeing in the perspective of file, you'll be saving so much of space, at least, meaning if the file is having 1 lakh records, you'll be able to save 1 lakh bytes. If you're able to save 2 bytes, let's say, then that means you're saving 2 lakh bytes, right? If you're able to save 3 bytes, then 3 lakh bytes. So like that. So minimum we are taking, at least if we can save 1 byte, then it is going to be the huge number when you are seeing across the file, right? So to do this, we are having comp variables. So when I told you about the variable declaration thing, yeah, here when I was telling you about the variable declaration, here I told level number, variable name, picture clause, value clause, and usage clause. Usage class at that time I told it is optional. If you want, you can. So this is the one that we are going to use now. Usage class, normally we don't write anything, right? If suppose if I'm saying 01 ws num1 pick 9 of 02, let's say, here you won't write anything. By default, what will happen is usage is display will be in place. So there are two things, usage in display or usage is comp. There are two things are there. Either usage is display or usage is comp. So normally if you're not writing anything, it is usage is display. So here one thing we have to remember, comp variables will not be in the displayable format that we will see now. Okay. So if you want something in displayable format, you have to use usage is display. So if you're not writing anything also, sorry, if you're not writing anything also, it will be always usage is display. That's why you're not writing anything. But if it is, if you have to write comp variables, then you have to write usage is comp. So there are on high level, we are having different comp variables are there, like comp, comp1, comp2, comp3, 4, and 5. So in this, we don't use 4 and 5, not at all being used. And 1 and 2 also we don't use. Okay. But in interview, they will ask you what is comp1 and what is comp2. And 4 and 5, they will never ask you. But main things that we use is comp and comp3. These are the most important things, or even in real time or everywhere, we use only these two, comp and comp3. Comp is computational, comp3 is computational 3. Okay. So now let's say how the comp will be storing the data, how the comp3 will be storing the data. So basically, when you are declaring a variable with comp, what will happen is it will be storing the data in the binary format. Okay, so it stores the data in binary format. So internally, it will be storing normally zeros and ones, we can say, but usually when you are seeing it in mainframe, it will not be in the readable format. You will not be able to understand what is there. But what will happen is it will occupy less space, and all the arithmetic operations, that means add, subtract, multiplication, division, all the compute everything, it will participate properly. If suppose I'll show you. Once you see the example, you will be able to understand clearly. Okay. So how it will occupy the storage, how it will be able to, reduce the space. So how it will occupy is S9 of 1 to S9 of 04. Up to 1 to 4, it will occupy only 2 bytes. Normally, in the normal declaration, S9 of 1 will occupy 1 byte, 2 will occupy 2 bytes, 3 will occupy 3, 4 will occupy 4 bytes, right? But if you are declaring, so if suppose I am declaring a field like this, 01 WS num1 pick 9 of 04 and usage is comp. So if you are mentioning usage is comp, it will occupy only 2 bytes for this. It will not occupy 4 bytes. If you're removing this, for example, the same thing is there. And you are not writing usages comp, then it will occupy 4 bytes. Okay. Now S9 of 5 to S9 of, let's say, 9. It will occupy 4 bytes. So up to 9 bytes. So S9 of 5 to 9, meaning if you're giving a number like 5 to 9, in between these digits, it will occupy only 4 bytes. And S9 of 10, this they will ask you an interview. Okay. So they will give you some number. Let's say I'm having S9 of 13 comp, how many bytes it will occupy. So you have to say that S9 of 18, up to 18, it will occupy 8 bytes. Okay. So they will ask you in interview. So I'm having a field WS number S9 of 7 comp. How many bytes it will occupy? How many bytes it will occupy? S9 of 7?
4 bytes.
4 bytes, right? So if it is S9 of 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, it will occupy 4 bytes only. If it is 10 or 11 or up to 18, it will occupy 18 bytes. Right? So using numeric, you can give maximum of 18 bytes only. Okay, up to 18 bytes only, meaning maximum of S9 of 18 only you can declare. If you want to go beyond that, you will have to change some compiler option that we'll discuss later. Okay, they will ask you what is the maximum, like maximum number that we can, or maximum limit that we can declare for numeric. It is 9 of 18. Okay, now, so let us see about comp now. Come to mainframe. Double 83766. Maybe at the same time, I'll discuss about COMP3 also, then we can see the example of for both, right? So let's say I'm having WS num2 and pick S9 of, let's say, 06. Usage is COMP3. So here, COMP3, it stores the data in hexadecimal format. Okay, we say internally it will be this packet decimal format. Usually it is storing the data in hexadecimal format. When you are seeing it, it will be in the hexadecimal format. But internally, it will go and get stored. This is for theoretical purpose only. They will ask you how the data will be stored in COMP. In COMP, it will be storing the data in binary format. How the data will be stored in COMP3, it will be storing in the hexadecimal format. If you're saying packet decimal, also fine. Okay, so how this will be how it will occupy the space. Normally, you know, right? For COMP, it is 9 of 1 to 4, 2 bytes, 5 to 9, 4 bytes, and 10 to 18, 8 bytes. So, what about COMP3? How it will be storing? So, it will be, if suppose, yes, 9 of 5 COMP3. How many bytes it will store? Similarly, yes, 9 of, let's say I'm having 8 COMP3. Okay, so there is a formula for calculating this. If the number is odd number, okay, this is 5, right? If the number that we are having, if the length that we are having in 9 of something, right? If this number is odd number, then your formula will be n plus 1 by 2. Okay, if it is even number, then it will be n by 2 plus 1. So now for this, the value is 5 plus 1 by 2. So what is the value? 6 by 2, right? It is going to be 3. And here it is 8 by 2 plus 1. And it is 4 plus 1, right? So it is 5 bytes. Right? And if you're having any decimal declaration, and here comp variables will be able to handle only whole numbers. That means if suppose employee ID is there, 1 2 3 4 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 3, so it will be able to handle only whole numbers. It cannot handle the decimal values. And COMP3 will be able to handle both whole numbers as well as the decimal numbers. Understand? Suppose salary is there, so you want to say 10,000.00. In that case, you have to declare it in COMP3 only. Okay, so now tell me, I'm giving you something is 9 of let's say 13 COMP3. So how many bytes it will occupy? Any guess?
7 bytes.
7 bytes.
1 bytes, right? And if it is, let's say I'm having this
9 bytes.
right, n by 2 plus 1, so 8 by 2 plus 1, sorry, 16 by 2 plus 1, that is 8 plus 1, it is 9 bytes. So you have to remember this formula. They will ask you in this and this. So for comp it is fixed. You have to think about the range only. If it is 1 to 4, in between 1 to 4 you have to say 2 bytes. If it is in between 5 to 9 you have to say 4 bytes. If it is 10 to 18 you have to say 8 bytes. But when it comes to comp3, you have to calculate it based on the value. So they will give you this way also. Suppose I'm having S9 of 04 V9 of 02. So tell me how many bytes it will occupy? It is even number, right? 4 plus 2, total 6 bytes. So that means even number. 6 by 2 plus 1. 4. Right? So if it is 9 of 05 V 9 of 2, then eight by 2 plus 1, right? 4 plus 1. It is 7. 5, 2, 7. So it is odd number. Odd number means n plus 1 by 2. So 7 plus 1 by 2. sorry, 8 by 2. That's it. So it will be 4 bytes only. So it is like this. So what will happen here? How it will be storing the data in COMP3? So I'll show you. Usually, how COMP3 will store the data is it will occupy basically half byte for each number. So, for example, I'm having a number called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the number I'm having. So each byte will be able to store two numbers. That means normally each byte will be, if suppose you're declaring it as, suppose for example, 9 of 06 you have given, 9 of 08 you have given. So usually how it will store 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7, 8, like this it will store, right? Each byte will store one number. But when it comes to the COMP3, each byte will be able to store two numbers. So how it will store is, consider this is half byte. This first half is half byte, meaning this is half byte and this is half byte. So consider this yellow one is half byte, and maybe I'll fill this. And this one is, okay. So this two will make one byte. Okay. So it will store like this, 1 and then 2, and then it will store 3, then it will store 4. So from left, top, bottom, top, it will come from this to this direction in this way. Okay. So it will be coming in this direction. It will be coming in this direction. So from left to right, and then from top to bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like this. So if suppose you're having like odd number is there, 7 is there. So what will happen is 5, 6, and then 7. So usually here, this in odd number case, the last half byte will be wasted. In even number case, it will use the last half byte also. But in case of odd number, it will be wasting the last half byte. And also, usually we declare like this with sign, right? So sign will be stored in the last half byte, meaning if suppose it is S9 of 8. So here it will be 8, right? So sign also will be stored along with the last half byte only. We'll see how it will be storing the sign also. Okay. So sign will not be occupying any extra space. So our sign will not be taking any extra space. It will use the same half byte, which is having in the last last byte. So in the last byte, in the last half byte, the sign will be stored. This half byte, we call it as nibble. Okay, usually half byte is called as nibble. Okay, so they will ask you how the sign will be stored in COMP3. So sign will be stored in the last nibble in the COMP3. Okay, so now let's see both the examples, how it will be storing. Okay. Hmm. Okay. EMP detail. Okay, let me create one. Okay. So I'll create one detail.com. So what I'll do, I will copy this file CO, enter, and I'm giving detail.com, enter, and I'm giving option 1. Now refresh, it will create detail.com, edit this file and delete the entire data. So I just want a new file. So instead of creating in 3.2, what I did, I just copied from another file and I am now deleting the data. Okay. So file, you remember, so we have to first declare the file. We are declaring the file in environment division input output section and select file name assigned to DD name. Organization is sequential, access mode is sequential, and then we are defining the file. So when you are defining FD file name, record length is 80 and everything came. Now, let's say first is my employee ID. Employee ID, let's say I'm giving S9 of some 05. Okay, then 05 comp. So either if you're giving usage is comp or simply comp, both will be same. That means, okay, let me give another thing. Employee department ID. So department ID, let's say that is also S9 of 5 comp. So that means why I'm writing two things is if you're writing usage is comp or if you're writing comp. Usage is, this word is optional. If you want to write, you can write. Otherwise, you can simply write comp. There is no problem at all. Okay. If you're writing usage is comp, that is fine. Or if you're writing simply comp, that is also fine. Then employee ID, employee department ID. Then we have employee name, X of 20. And then employee organization, let's keep it as 10. So first we have to think how many bytes it is coming. So S9 of 5, that means it is how many bytes? Basically 4 bytes, right? Then it is also 4 bytes. So we have to, so I'm opening one, better we'll open calculator. So S9 of 5, first is 4, then again 4, then after that it is 20, right? 20, then after that it is 10, 10. Okay, after employee organization, let's say I'm having employee gender. Pick X of, we'll give some 6 or what we give 10, that is fine. So then we have plus 10. Then we have let's say employee salary. For this, I'm considering S9 of let's say 06, V9 of 02. Okay, so how many it came? 48, 10, 10, 20, 20, 40, 4, 4, 48, and this is how many bytes? 8 by 2 plus 1, 5, right? Total here it is plus 5. That became 53. Then let's say one more. EMP, some other number, anything that comes in. So EMP mobile, this way will be in the displayable format. So pick 9 of 10. Then we will have EMP, anything that we can store in comp, anything with numbers. Maybe other. Pick S9 of, I'm giving other will be hardly 12 digits, right? So I'm giving some 12 COMP3. Here also it is COMP3. I forgot to give. And 05, how many bytes it came? 4, 4, 8, 28, 38, 48, 48 plus this is 5, 53, 63, 63 plus this is 7, right? 6 by 2 plus 70. Then we have 10 more bytes left. So I'll give something employee pin code. Organization is there. Okay, maybe we did not give the location, right? Employee location is not there. One second. Okay, so we have pick x of 10. So now total 80 bytes over, I think. Let's calculate now. 4, 4, 8, 28, 38, 48, 48, and this is 5, right? 8 by 2 plus 1. 53, 63, 63, and this is 6 by 2. Sorry, 12 by 2. 63, 7. 70, and this is your 10. 80. Total 80 bytes came, and our file length is 80. You cannot declare beyond that because our file length is 80 only. That is why I'm calculating everything. Okay, so you can, if suppose it is 9 of 5, you should not be calculating the 5 bytes because it will occupy only 4 bytes. It is total 8 bytes. You cannot calculate 8 bytes because it will be occupying 8 by 2 plus 1 only, that is 5 bytes. And this will also occupy less only. It will not occupy 12 bytes. It is 12 by 2 plus 1. That means 7 bytes only. So you have to calculate in that way. So did you understand this calculation, how I have done and how I have made it 80? Is this part clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes. So now this is fine.
Does the filler also will be have occupying
If-
bytes?
Yeah, filler will occupy bytes, meaning it is just empty space. You cannot leave, if suppose 80 bytes, suppose our file is 80 bytes, right? So you are having data up to 40 bytes only. Then you have to say that filler 40 bytes. It will not have any data, but you have to declare the layout. Here actually, we are declaring the layout. So this is this, this is this. You cannot leave any space of the file without, or you cannot leave any space of the file, I mean, undeclared. You cannot say last 40 bytes, I don't know. You have to say at least it is filler. That means there is no data. But simply it will occupy space, but you cannot leave it.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to completely give all the 80 bytes. If suppose your file length is 100, You have to give 100, at least with the filler. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And one more thing, when you are accepting the data, right, from outside, if suppose I'm accepting the data from JCL, you cannot accept the data of this comp variables. This, and this you cannot accept. Okay. So that we will, next program we will see with the accept. For now, I will use move statement. So what I'll do is move. Let's say I'm giving 1111 to employee ID. Then I'm giving employee department, right? So what we will give 2222. Department we follow something else, 100 to employee department ID. Then we have employee name, something we will give. To employee name. Then let's make it mail. To after employee name, it is organization, right? So please follow this, or if I am writing some mistakes, tell me. Move. So I have given employee ID, I have given employee department ID, I have given employee name. Next I'm giving employee organization. So let's say TCS to employee organization. Next is move. After organization, it is gender. So I'm giving it as male to employee gender. Next, I'm deleting all this. Okay. After gender, it is salary, right? So move. Suppose I'm giving some salary, 12,000.00 to what is this EMP salary. Then mobile number. Move. What is the mobile number? Let's give 1234556. So this is the mobile number. To EMP mobile. More Aadhaar, right? It's a 12-digit number. So let's give 111122223333 to EMP Aadhaar. Next we have EMP location. So remember, all comp variables are purely numeric. You don't have to give any codes for them. Okay, so I'm not giving codes for this, this also. All numeric, I'm not giving any codes to EMP location. Fine. Thereafter, what we are doing, we are saying write employee detail record, and we are closing the file. That's it. Very small program. We have defined the file. We have declared the file. We have defined the layout of the file. The layout is employee ID, department name, organization, gender, salary, all these things. So in this employee ID is comp. Here I have written use one for one, it is usage comp, one for one, it is simply comp. Just to tell you that both will be same, it will not be having any difference. So here also you can write usage is comp or usage is comp3 or simply comp3. Okay. Now I'm stop. Let's change comp where and we'll save the program. COMP VAR. Submit. This is 12. Let's see. Employee location was not defined as a data name. EMPLOC, where it is. Location. Okay, these are not required. Sorry, I forgot to delete these things. Okay, write and then close. That's it. SJ, submit. So this is fine now. Now we have to run it. So when I'm running, I'm going to use comp run file, this run ACL, and emp det. Det1 is not required. Det, and my file is det.comp. Hope you remember this. So we have created an empty file, right? So maybe you can refer that. So emp.comp is right now it is empty. So we are going to write some data into it, right? So I'm giving comp where. Let's submit this. Now let us see what is there inside this file. Okay. So now if you see, basically it is in the first I'm giving calls. So first 4 bytes, it is basically employee ID. As I said, it will not be in the readable format. You cannot see what is there inside this. Okay. Okay. The next 4 bytes is employee department ID. I'll tell you how to see the data also. Next is 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to here it is department ID. So it is also in the comp format. You will not be able to see what is there, but internally it will be storing in a different format. But if you want to do any arithmetic operations like add subtract, if you want to add 100 to this employee ID, you will be able to add it. All arithmetic operations, all the functions, it will work properly. Only thing is it will not be in the displayable format. See, finally in the real time we will not be keep on displaying everything. We don't want everything to be displayed. Okay, we want the storage to be reduced. Here everything will be working as it is. If suppose you are having 10 programs are there, out of 10 program, let's say first program is calculating some tax, second program is calculating some salary, third program is calculating some incentives and all, and in the 10th program you're generating the payslip. So in only 10th program it is enough to display things. In all the first 9 programs you don't have to display anything, right? Because you're doing all the calculations. You don't have to have all the numbers to be displayed. And your 10th program is the one that is payslip. So in that program you can have the fields declared as the normal variables so that it will be displayed. All the other programs you can define as comp variables so that they will occupy less space. And also all the functional, meaning all the operations, calculations, arithmetic operations, right? All the comp variables will be very faster compared to the normal line declaration. So comp variables will participate in arithmetic operations, very fastly. Okay, then then you have your, after that you have name x of 20. So name is normal variable only. That is why you are able to see it. Rajesh. So up to 10, 1, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Up to here it is. Then you have organization, then you have gender, then you have mobile number. So is that the same? So after gender, you have something called salary, right? So name, gender is 10 bytes. So if you come here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So up to here it is gender. After this it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 5 bytes, whatever we are thinking, right? So it is this one, 6, 2. So 6 plus 2, that is 8. 8 by 2 plus 1, 4 plus 1, right? 5 bytes. These 5 bytes that you are seeing here, 1, 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 bytes, it is salary. So here, COMP3 variables you will be able to see, but COMP you will not be able to see. How to see the COMP3 variables is on the command line, you have to use a command called hex on, hexadecimal on. So we know that it will be storing the data in COMP3. Still remember, COMP you cannot see using hexon also. COMP3 only you will be able to see. Okay. So COMP also will be showing something, but it is not the correct. But when it comes to COMP3, okay, we are coming to COMP3. See, tell me what is the salary I'm having? What is the salary that I have moved? 12,000, right? So it will be stored. Then I've told you how it will be storing. If it is 12,000, 1, 2, then 0 here, then 0 here, then 0 here, like this it will store. So if you come and see here, see from here 1, 2, then 0, 0, 0. So 12,000. Then it will be 0.00. In the last half byte, it will be storing the sign. If suppose sign will be represented with either C or D, there will be 2 letters. If it is C or D, it will be storing. So C means positive, D means negative. Okay, so this means plus 12,000. Here C means it is plus 12,000. If it is D, it will be minus 12,000. Understanding? Suppose what we will do is I'll repeat this entire thing. So this time I'm giving 2222 and department ID 2000. Let's say Mahesh, mail some, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my salary, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.67. This is the salary. Okay, then this is mobile number, Aadhaar number, and I'm not changing anything. Then I have location. Our Aadhaar number is also COMP3, right? Let's see how it is stored after mobile number. So this is your mobile number. Then after this, see, like 1, 1, how it is storing. 1, 1, 1, 1, then 2, 2, 2, 2, then 3, 3, 3, 3, then you have C. Understanding? This is how it is storing. C means plus. Okay, this time what I will do is let's move some negative things. Let's say I'm moving minus 12,000. Okay, and here also let's make let's say department ID is minus 1,000. It won't be there like that, but for example I'm giving. Okay, so let's save this now. You're understanding, right? Is any doubts as of now? Then to remove this, you have to give hex off, so that it will become normal. And now let us open the file and see. Okay, so I'm giving hex on. Now, if you see somewhere, where is this? COMP3 from here, I think 12,000, right? So here the salary is 120000. Then it is D. I told you, right? C means positive, D means negative. So here 1, 2. See, I have given the salary as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something here. Like this I have given. See how it is storing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then it is C. Understood? That is positive one. Then other. So in the last bit, if it is C, it is positive. If it is false, it is meaning if it is D, it is negative. Then going here, you are seeing some values for comp also, right? But for comp variables, you cannot see like this up, down, left to. For comp, you cannot apply the same rule that we are doing for COMP3. Comp, it is simply some junk values it is coming. This is not the correct thing. But for COMP3, you can validate like this. So this way you can see 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, D. This way you can see. But for comp, it is not comp. You can even with the hexagon also, you will not be able to see the data. Okay. So if you then next question is how if I want to see the data, what I have to do. So if you have to see the data, what you have to do is you have to declare a normal working storage variable, something like this. Suppose 01 ws emp id pick 9 of let's say 05. Then what you have to do is you have to move emp id to ws emp id, then display it. This you will be able to display because it is simply normal line. When this comp value is getting moved to this ws emp id, it will be converted as normal automatically. Understanding? So if you want to display, is there any need of, if there is any need of displaying the field, then you have to declare only for that field as a normal working storage. You need to declare an extra variable as a normal working storage variable, and you have to move that data into, or you have to move that field into working storage variable, and you have to display the working storage variable. And your working storage variable should not be having as comp. It should be the normal line of file. Normal line of file means usage is display. If you're writing or not writing, it is usage is display. So you have to move the data from usage is comp to usage is display. Then you have to display, or you have to use that variable to display something. Understand? Yeah. So in comp and comp3, they will definitely. So as I said, COMP1, COMP2, right? Just you remember just one line answers. COMP1 will be occupying 4 bytes always. COMP2 will be occupying 8 bytes always, or different. Even I forgot. Let me check once. And COMP1, it is these two things will not have any picture clause. And same here also. Okay. And one more thing is it is single precision floating point. So you don't have to use it anywhere. Just remember this line. It is double precision, meaning actually there is a floating point, meaning with respect to the decimal values, there is a single precision floating, meaning when you are rounding the values, like it will, the first one will be rounded to the first up to first decimal to the accurate value. COMP2 will be rounding it to the second decimal accurate value, but we will never use it. You have to just simply say what is COMP1 means. You have to say single precision floating point. What is COMP2? Double precision floating point. This. Okay. Okay. Which occupy 4 and 8 bytes respectively. Yeah. COMP1 will be occupying 4 bytes and COMP2 will be occupying 8 bytes basically. COMP1 is single precision floating point and COMP2 refers to the double precision floating point. Only this much is enough. And why we don't use picture clause for COMP1 and COMP2 is because they are already predefined. COMP1 will occupy 4 bytes only. COMP2 will occupy 8 bytes only. You don't have to say pick something because there is no use of saying it because they are already predefined. They are already built in 4 bytes and 8 bytes. You don't have to say the length. Okay. So this is about COMP1 and COMP2. You don't need to have much on this too. So COMP and COMP3 are the most important and the real time use thing. And even in the interviews, they will ask you about COMP and COMP3 only. Okay. So this entire thing, what we do is, I'll be putting it in Excel. Maybe otherwise, let's minimize something. So this is about comp variables. Okay. Now we are left with what I'm saying is okay. Next, this is also done, I think. Can make it. Now we are left with subprograms and array. There are two things, array, and one more thing is your subprograms. Anything else? Oh, 66 and redefines renames is there. So we'll finish this 66, 88 redefines and renames tomorrow. And then we are left with one topic is subprogram, one topic is array. Editing characters, it won't take much time, 5 to 10 minutes only. That we cannot consider as a class, but rename subprograms and arrays. So I hope today's class is clear to everyone, right? About comp and comp3, how we are declaring the numeric values to store the data, to save the space basically. Normally your salary, see this file you are seeing, right? It is occupying each byte, two numbers are occupying only 1 byte basically. See, normally 12,000 is getting over by here only 12,000.00. They are getting accommodated in just 5 bytes, right? So just in 5 bytes. But normally it will occupy so many. So that's how we are actually reducing the data. And for comp, it is in this format. You cannot see the comp data in the file. Okay. If you want to see, you will have to move it to a normal variable and then you will be able to see. Clear on this? So for example, I'll tell you, if suppose you want to see the data of this employee ID, what you have to do is, as I said, you have to declare a field WS employee ID, then you have to move your normal employee ID to WS employee ID. Then you can display it like this. You have to display your comp variables. So if you want for any other, you have to do the same thing. You have to move it into a working storage variable and then you will have to move it. Okay. If it is clear, if you're having any doubts or something, you can Ask me now.
You said in the previous class you will explain the significance of seventh line.
Yeah, seventh line. Maybe we'll discuss in the next class. Actually, it is used for commenting purpose. So I'll tell you why we use seventh line. Maybe with examples we will discuss.
And how to add separators in date also you told you will explain.
In date class, right? So that is actually using filler only. If suppose maybe I'll yeah. Suppose here I'm having usually when you are declaring date, right? So how we will be giving 01, 05. Let's say we are giving in the y format. So I'll give year one pick x of 01, x of 04. Then we will give filler. Filler is the only one that will not be considered as the duplicate value. So you can simply give pick filler x of 01. Then here you will give value this, and again 05 month 1. At that time when I was discussing, you don't know the concept of filler. That's why I didn't tell you. Yeah, pick x of 02. Here we don't give anything. And again, I will give filler here. Because for each slash, I don't want to basically give the different name for each variable. Meaning, whenever I am giving slash, right, here I have to give where like /1, /2, like that variable. If suppose you are having it's a lengthy field and you're having so many delimiters or so many separators are there. So every time you cannot give a new variable name. Instead, you can simply use the filler. So filler, it will not be considered as a duplicate variable. You can use as many times as you want. Okay. So when you're declaring the date format, right? So you give years, months, and everything, and the separators you can give with the filler. Okay. Now I will just move 2023 to year one. Giving 03 to month 1. Remind me once, we will discuss about the date functionalities also in the end, once all the COBOL is done, because date functionalities are there basically. So that means how you will get the today's date, how you will get yesterday's date, how you will, if you want to calculate the last week date, how you will be able to see. So those things we will see in the see. Usually if you want to complete COBOL and 15 or 20 classes, I'll be able to finish me, but I'm covering most, meaning almost everything which is nowhere covered. So if it is taking a week or 10 days more also, don't worry, because we are discussing all the topics in detail and covering everything. Because normally you can think it is in my hands, that if I want to finish COBOL and 15 classes, I'll be able to, but I'm not missing anything. I'm giving everything that what COBOL is having. Okay. So now it will be displayed like 2023/03/12. So I'm just displaying this one. Let's say I'm giving date 1. EPL.zf.zl date 1. Okay, let's compile this and run it. The name date one was used for an item that was not defined. That was what it is saying. The name date not defined as a data name. So let me see once. 01 date 105. Are we missing something?
Sir, because ID name date one.
This one.
Yes, sir.
No, one is there, right? It should be fine. It should not have any except 04. Maybe. No, it should not have any issue. Let's see. Date one, year one. One. No, it is correct only. Are we missing anything? No, right? Maybe that is the reason. Okay. Okay, next thing is run JSL. Okay, spool got cleared. So we have to now take it from here only. This is not required. And I'm submitting. This is also fine. So now you'll be seeing your date with the slash. So we basically use filler only. I was thinking of saying about the filler concept only. Since filler came, now we can use it any delimiter in between. Okay. So about the seventh column also I can say, but I think it will take time. It won't take much time, but is it okay for everyone that if I say for 5 to 10 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Sir,
usually
how to give space between
how to
give spaces in between the.
okay. So suppose you want to give something like this, right? Is that the one you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Meaning you want to give some spaces without deleting the characters. So is that only you're asking, or you're asking something like in line space like this?
No, sir. The first
Earlier one, right?
I see.
Okay. Suppose what will happen in mainframe is suppose I'm having something like this. So if I want to give a space between A and B, if I'm giving space, automatically the letter B will be deleted. If I'm giving one more space, automatically the letter will be deleted. So if you want to give, or if you want to maintain space, 1 second, please. Yeah, sorry. So what will happen is, so if you're giving a space, automatically, sorry,
Record.
it is getting recorded, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So the space in mainframe is basically called as destructive space. That means if you're giving space, automatically the letter will be deleted. This is called as a destructive space. So if you want to, if you want to insert a space, or if suppose you're having EFGH is there, in between this G and H, you want to write something called 1 2 3. How I have written this 1 2 3 now, and if suppose, let's say this time I want to write 1 2 3 between E and F. So if I'm writing 1 here, F is gone and only 1 came. If I'm writing 2 here, G is gone. Right? These are called as destructive entries. So if you want to give any space here or any letter in between this, so on the keyboard, you will be seeing a key called insert, right? So I'll show you. So you're seeing your keyboard and there is something called insert key. There will be a funky with the name insert. Maybe nothing is clear here. Let's see. If it is clear, then I will be able to explain. No, it is not clear. Do you have your keyboard with, meaning you're in front of the laptop right now? The key is not really visible. Where is the insert? Okay, this is Mac keyboard. Sorry. This is not this one. The normal keyboard. Normal keyboard. See here, you're having something called insert. It is not very clear, but if you can see, let me know. This one, it is there in every keyboard. You will be seeing a function key called, you will be seeing a key called insert. So if you're pressing insert, it will allow you to insert the data in between. Please respond. You're seeing, did you identify this key? This key?
Yes.
Okay. So if suppose, I'll tell you how this will be working. I'm having A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like this. What is this? No, it is not. Okay, I'm having something called A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, if suppose I want to give a space in between, first you have to press insert. Now I'm pressing insert key, insert. Now leave it. Now give space. Just space, it will just move. So it will not delete the character until and unless you are hitting enter. Once you hit enter, let's say now I'm hitting enter. Now the power of insert key will be gone. Now if you're giving space again, it will delete the character. Again, if you're giving insert, now again space, it will move. Now enter. Once you enter, the power of insert key will be gone. It will delete the character. So suppose Similarly, if you want to insert any letter between the C and D, so click on C, give insert and type some 1, 2, 3, 4. So whatever you're typing, it will allow you to insert. But once you enter, the power of insert will be gone. Now, if you are typing something, it will delete the letters. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Next thing. It's about column 7. Column 7 is basically used to mention the comments. Comments means if suppose the person, your let's say your 6 people are there. So one of you, Joel, is writing a program. Okay. Then later somebody else, one of you came into that project. Okay. By the time he left, Joel left. Okay. So what happened? The other person who came newly, you asked him to analyze this program, what he has written. So it should be having the proper comments. Proper comments means, suppose if I have to say what this program is doing. So what I will be saying is, suppose maybe here, if suppose here I have to say that I just want to say that I am declaration of working variables. Something like this. You want to give some information. So if you're simply writing like this, it will consider it as the program only. So when it is being considered as a program, it will give you compile error. Okay, there is no declaration, there is off working. These are all new words to this. So you have to follow these things only, right? If you're simply writing something, whatever you want in the program in between, it will be considered as program only and it will give you error when it is compiling. But calls in the 7th column. This is 7th, right? If you're giving star in the 7th column, so what will happen? This thing will be turned into blue color, and during the compilation, this line will not be considered. This will be considered as just a comment only. That is like you're passing some information to the next programmer, or you're giving some information to the next programmer, or you're giving the information of the program. Suppose I want to say that this program is doing something. So I'll give all the stars. Let us say all my first line is all the stars. See, don't think that I'm giving all the stars. Here, my main thing is I'm giving star in the 7th column. That's why all these stars are not being considered. Okay, in the next line, I'm giving this program is displaying the date with slash separated format. Okay, then star, then again we are giving some stars. So that means when the programmer is, when somebody else is seeing this, they will understand, right? Okay, this program is doing this thing. And after that, let's say you can write something else. Here, you can say that you repeat this line and say below declaring the variables. This is just an information. Here you can say moving the date values to variables. Here you can say you can, after star, you can write it anywhere. You don't have to follow any of these things. Okay, only thing is you have to make sure you're having star in the 7th column. All these stars will not be considered. Only thing, it will check whether you are having star or not in the 7th column. If you're having star in the 7th column, then it means that it will not be considered as the actual program. It is just like a comment. Okay. Displaying the date. Okay, so this is how it will be. Suppose one more, this is one use of your star. Suppose, let's say you're having date 2 and 3, some variables are there, extra variables are there. in your program, you don't want to use them. So what you will do is, instead of deleting, you will just comment out those lines so that they will not be participated in your program. So you will just give star and star. So what will happen is these two lines will not be considered as your program. That means, so if you want to comment out any unused lines, or if you want to pass some information, for both the cases, we will be giving star. Star is used for commenting purpose. Comment can be two ways. One is you're giving the information about your program to the next user, or you're commenting out some existing code which is not in use. Instead of deleting, you can simply comment out also. Clear on this?
Yes.
So I hope it is clear to everyone about the 7th column.
Yes.
Okay, then. So let's see about subprograms tomorrow. Then we will, oh no, we are having 66 renames and redefines, right? So we'll see 66, 88 renames and redefines tomorrow. And then we'll see subprograms and arrays. So total 3 topics are left. Okay. So, okay, then we'll disconnect for today and we'll connect tomorrow.
Sir,
Yes.
if we compare the
Yeah.
COMP1,
This thing you're saying,
sir.
it will not give you any. Okay, I'll compile and show you.
Okay.
It will not consider all these lines as the program. Okay, it is just a dummy lines. For this, for the program, it will consider it as some rough notes. It will not consider it as the main thing. Okay. If it is finding star in the 7th column, then it is. Let me share. Okay. If it is finding star in the 7th column, right, it will be considered as dummy only. It will not be considered as the main program. So I'm giving the same test data. Test data, I'm not changing anything, same program only. So now if you see submit, so that is fine. Max is 0. So it is not talking anything about those commented lines. Usually if I remove this, so for example, one example I'll show you. If suppose I'm removing this star here, okay. Now let's compile and see. So now it is like a normal declaration. See, it turned into green color. It will be considered as the normal program, right? So now let's see. So now it is having some error. Max is 12. Let's see what is that error. So if you see, it is saying below is a new word. Below is a new word. All these things it is saying. For everything, it will say this. It is talking about this below. This word it is saying. This below is not defined. So it is saying some issue with that. So if you're commenting out, then it will not talk anything. Clear? So comment is like a information passer, or it is like a commenting out the existing code. So now it is fine. Max is 0. Now it will not say anything. Now if you see this one, see this path, it is not even saying anything. Normally it is executing, right? So about this day 2 and day 3 also it didn't say anything because these are commented in the 7th. Understood?
Yes.
Will it be displayed in the final program?
Yeah, you just have to. Which one you are saying? These
These
things.
declarations. Yeah.
No, these are like comment means it is not in the you are almost equal to if it is deleted or commented, both are same. Now you are seeing this day 2 and day 3. No, right? Comment means like delete only. They are not in the program. They are not considered as the program.
Okay.
Okay, comment is just like you're not, you have written something, then you scratched it. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Understood. Normally, you will note down something, right? If you're not feeling it is not the correct one, what you will say, you will just erase it or you will just scratch it. Similar to that. So in real time, what will happen is you will be having lengthy program. So you will have to change some lines. So sometimes what they will do is, if suppose, for example, you will have a line some if age is greater than something like this, 50 is there. So they asked you to write if age is greater than 60. Instead of 50, you are now increasing it to 60. So what you have to do is, in real time, you should never directly go and change this to 60. What you have to do, you have to keep the existing line same. Okay, so you will be repeating this line and you will be keeping the existing line same, so that it is the proof that before it was like this, now you are changing it to 60. This is your new line. So your existing line will be just commented out. It will not be deleted or it will not be modified directly.
Okay.
Okay, so in real time, you do this way. If you are making any changes, all your existing lines will be still there. You will just comment them out. Okay. So comment means it is not there in the program. Now only if suppose 2 is there, 2 and 3. If it is not commented, then 2 and 3 are the actual variables. If it is commented, that means these are not there in the program. Just you have it, it was there earlier, now you commented. That means you have completely removed it from the program. Got it? If suppose, for example, in my spool, now just tell me one thing. In my spool, I'm getting some date, right? Like 2023 slash like 03/12. How I'm getting it? With what line I'm getting that in the spool? What is displaying my date? Which line is displaying me the date in the spool?
This display full
This
date.
display,
date one.
right? This is displaying actually. Okay, so we will do one thing. Just you will understand now. So this okay. This display is displaying your date, right? So what I will do, I'm compiling our program. We'll do one thing. So before that, I will write one more display that below is the date. Simply I'm displaying something. Okay, two displays are there. One is simply below, this is one line, this is another. Below is the date is one line, then full date is another line. Okay. Okay, let's compile. Now I'm running it. Okay. So two lines came. Below is the date and full date is this. Now what I'm doing is I'm commenting out this one. Full date, this line I'm commenting out. I'm not doing anything. I'm not deleting. I'm not doing anything. I'm just commenting out this line. Okay. Done. Now see, only below is the line date came. The second display didn't come. That means, what do you mean by commenting now? It will not be participating in your program. It is permanently disabled. It is like, it is a disabled line. It will not be participating in your program. It is commented out. It is almost equal to delete.
Okay,
Clear?
clear.
So similarly, these two also not there in the program, meaning it is there, but they will not participate in the program. This line is there, but it will not participate in the program because it is commented. Understand?
Okay, okay.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll see about 66 redefines and renames on 88 level. Okay. Anything else before we wind up? Okay, then we'll disconnect for today and we'll connect tomorrow. Yeah, thank you.